Ayukwi, hello! I am Kiwiki, a freshman at Ashland High School. This is me with my two sisters, Tamaya, a senior at Ashland High School, and our little sister Annie, a second grader at Willow Wind. I am going to share about Indigenous Peoples Day, including practicing a land acknowledgement with you and inviting you and your family to celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day with us at Ashland High School. You may have heard lots of names for Indigenous peoples, including American Indians or Native Americans. All of these terms refer to people whose ancestors are from the land we now call the United States. Did you know there are over 500 Native American tribes in the United States? Every tribal nation has its own language, cultural norms, and rules for who is a citizen of the nation, exactly like other nations or countries like Mexico or Canada. Most Indigenous people use the name of their tribe to identify themselves. You can always ask questions if you aren't sure what word to use. Now, here's a map of Oregon. Do you know whose land we live on? Before Oregon was a state, all of the land in Oregon was a tribal land. And here in Ashland, we live on the Takelma, Shasta, Modoc, Klamath, and Umpqua peoples' land. Today, there are 9 federally recognized tribes in Oregon, which are represented by those small blue dots. This is a formal land acknowledgement created by Ashland Middle School's Native American Student Union. A land acknowledgement is a formal statement that recognizes and respects Indigenous peoples as traditional stewards of this land and the enduring relationship that exists between Indigenous peoples and their traditional homelands. Now, let's practice this together. I'll read it first, and then let's all read it together. We acknowledge that the sacred land we live and learn on today belongs to the Takelma, Shasta, Modoc, Klamath, and Umpqua peoples. We honor and acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we now call the United States. We recognize the Native American peoples' continuing connection to land, place, waters, and community. We pay our respects to their culture, country, and elders, past, present, and emerging. Now, all together. We acknowledge that the sacred land we live and learn on today belongs to the Takelma, Shasta, Modoc, Klamath, and Umpqua peoples. We honor and acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we now call the United States. We recognize the Native American peoples' continuing connection to the land, place, waters, and community. We pay our respects to their culture, country, and elders, past, present, and emerging. As I shared, my family and I are Indigenous peoples from the native nations of the Yurok and Tallawahdaini here in the U.S. Who has been in Crescent City? Raise your hand. Yeah. Did you know that that was the land of the Tallawahdaini people? Repeat after me. Crescent City is Tallawah land. Good job. The photo on the left is me and my cousins participating in a traditional Yurok ceremony called the brush dance. You can see we are wearing basket caps and dresses made of buckskin. Our necklaces are made of abalone shell and pine nuts. The photo on the right is traditional Yurok redwood plank house on the banks of the Klamath River. You know, Native people in this region didn't live in teepees. Our family has lived in the Yurok village on the Klamath River in Northern California since the beginning of time. And even though we practice traditional Indigenous ways, including practicing Native ceremonies, we're kids just like you. Here I am having a picnic with my friends in the park and on a float in the Ashland High School homecoming parade. Yurok people are fighting alongside other Klamath River tribes for the largest river restoration project in the history of the world, happening right here in Ashland's backyard. Who is studying water in the classes? Raise your hand. Great. Hopefully, you'll get to ask questions and learn about the Klamath River dam removal story. On the left is a photo of our auntie, Susan Mastiff. She was the president of the National Congress of American Indians and the former chair of the Yurok Nation. Who can read her t-shirt? Why do you think she would wear a t-shirt that says voter while holding a sign about the Klamath River? Who has an idea? Raise your hand if you've been to the town of Klamath or on the Klamath River. Now, here's a map of the Klamath River and the dam that will be removed. Who can see Ashland on the map? Yes, and those red circles are the dams. See how close they are to us? And the photo on the left is our Auntie Amy Bowers Cordalis, a Yurok attorney who graduated from Ashland High School. You can find her in films like Art of Fish, Oh, and she has a book coming out soon. And she even grew up here. Another famous Indigenous leader from Ashland you should know is Winona LaDuke. Who has heard of her? Raise your hand. Or her mom artist, Betty LaDuke? Any other students identify as Indigenous or Native American? Do you want to introduce your tribe and share anything about your family or the land you come from with your class? Everyone, how will you honor Indigenous Peoples Day?
Okay, Nixuquax. Hello, my relatives. My name is Sean Taylor Corbett, and I am one of the co-writers of the Indigenous musical Distant Thunder. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, Walker Wolves! Woo! I wanted to share a music video called Hold On from the musical Distant Thunder, which deals with identity, language, land, and why it's so important to hold on to who we are. This is an Indigenous musical and one that is very special and close to my personal journey with the Mskapi Piikani tribe, my Blackfeet community in Montana. I wish you the best day today on Indigenous Peoples Day, that you are proud in who you are, and that you share that with everyone you know. Hold on from Distant Thunder. Ich bioxistikum.
When we ran through the camps, a smile on your face, you knew where to go all the time. From the shade in the stands to Medicine River, you knew. Down the road past the gym, up the hill to the school, you never let up till the end of the day. Like the moon chasing sun, I tried to catch up, but I fell. I'd put my hands on my hips and yell, hold on, 'cause I'm running out of breath. Hold on, 'cause I need to take a rest. Go on, you'll soon be way out of my sight. I held on to the memory that night. And then we ran past the stalls with the food and the games. I'd always get lost in the crowd. When I found you again, you'd say, try catch me if you can. You held fried bread in both your hands. Hold on, can you eat all of that? Hold on, you're making me so upset. So long, I'll leave 'cause I don't wanna fight. I held on to the memory that night.
It's like we had wings and we could fly away. I wonder who I would be if I had stayed.
Oh, yeah.
Since I've been gone, so much has changed, and I'm sure there's still so much change I have left to endure. If I can hold on, I know who will find me tonight.
During Indian days, the voices would sing. I still hear the beat of the drums. We were lost in the dance, and I felt the love of this land.
Bow Wow Pow Wow, written by Brenda J. Child, translated by Gordon Jourdain, and illustrated by Jonathan Thunder.
Bow wow, bow wow. When Windy Girl saw a lively puppy barking at a painted turtle down by the lake, she knew she had found a dog that could make her laugh.
Itchy Boy was a good dog, curious and brave, but never quiet. He barked at rabbits, he barked at raccoons, and he barked at porcupines. He even barked at mosquitoes.
Itchy Boy always barked loudest when Uncle's green pickup rolled into the yard. When they went ice fishing, he barked at the fathead minnows Windy put on her line.
Windy Girl and Itchy Boy knew that Uncle's pickup truck was the best place for stories. Windy especially likes to hear about powwow. Sometimes Uncle remembers things from when he was a boy.
Uncle told Windy, a long time ago, right before powwow, dancers went from house to house singing. They always sang the same song. We are like dogs, we are like dogs. People smiled and handed out gifts of food, maple sugar, candy, and beads.
The story reminded Windy of Itchy Boy.
For Windy Girl and Itchy Boy, the best days of summer ended at the powwow. Wendy ate popcorn and blueberry snow cones, listened to the singers, and watched the dancers. Itchy Boy and the other dogs roamed around the grounds.
When a powwow is very good and people are happy to be together, singing and dancing, it sometimes lasts until late at night. Fortunately, all children and dogs love to fall asleep under the northern lights while listening to the steady heartbeat of a drum.
One night, Wendy had a weird and wonderful dream about a special powwow.
Wendy dreamed about the elders, who taught her to offer tobacco and to express gratitude, and to dance for those who were unable to dance.
She dreamed about the veterans in Grand Entry, bearing flags and wounds from wars.
She dreamed about a drum group visiting from out west.
She dreamed about the traditional dancers, dancing their style. She dreamed about the grass dancers treading the northern earth.
She dreamed about the jingle dress dancers stepping softly to the ground.
She dreamed about the fancy dancers twirling bodies of color.
She dreamed about the tiny tots learning to move in the tempo.
She even dreamed about the powwow stand selling Indian fast food.
Bow wow, bow wow. Itchy Boy's bark and the powwow announcer's voice stirred Windy awake. Last dance tonight, folks. Everyone come out into the arena.
That night, Windy Girl understood the powwow is always in motion, part old and part new, glittering and plain, but still wonderful, almost like a dream.
To me, being Indigenous is something I'm in the process of kind of discovering and exploring.
As a Métis woman,
an Anishinaabe person,
as an Ojibwe woman,
an Anishinaabe person,
as Aboriginal people of North America.
If you look at all our great leaders, Sitting Bull, Tecumseh, those guys weren't complacent people.
Our people have been able to adapt, and in the face of colonialism, has been able to bounce back and be resilient.
Residential schools,
60s scoop,
genocide.
I'm in a generation where kind of rebranding what people perceive Indigenous to be.
We are all human, it's true, we're all the same.
Be like one with the land, one with creation.
Being Indigenous means that we have community.
We're reclaiming our destiny, we're reclaiming our identity.
To show that we can be leaders, that we can take pride in who we are.
I celebrate my indigeneity with everything that I do, from the connection to the land.
Who I am makes me Indigenous.
To be Indigenous, it's complex. It's not an easy answer, and
it's not always like going to powwows and dancing.
Even though we're all different and we all have our own histories and stories and traditions, is that we have a lot of things in common too.
Anything we do today and learn today has an effect on the next 7 generations to come. So for me, being Indigenous is just one of those things that it's very important that as Aboriginal people of North America, wherever a tribal affiliation belongs, wherever it comes from, we all have that ability and that responsibility to share in many different ways our Indigenous knowledge. So for me, that's what Indigenous means.
Hi, I'm Isa Salila Rogers. I'm Hoopa, Warm Springs, and Wasco tribe. Those are my tribes. And see this? That's me. A new show, Spirit Rangers, currently just got put out on Netflix, and I am the character Summer. She can turn into a hawk. So basically, Spirit Rangers is like, it's kind of like PJ Masks, I guess, but it's kind of like native-eyed. It's this native family. They're Shumash and Cowlitz, and the kids are junior rangers at a park. They live in a park residence, a national park, National Hoos Park, and so they are junior rangers now, and they can also be spirit rangers because they can change into spirit forms. As you can see on the book, I can turn into a hawk. My little brother Eddie, he's a turtle, and then Cody is a bear. So they try to turn into spirits so they can help the spirit world and the animals in the spirit world get better. But yeah, Summer is kind of like me. She's crazy, fun, fast, and she does not think before she does stuff. So she's very impatient like me. She's also very brave. Little pre-K native show. It's the first fully native run show. So
that's historic, isn't it?
Yeah, in over 100 years. So.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Erin Tapahi. I'm a member of the Navajo Nation, and we are part of the Art Heals the Jingle Dress Project, and we're here in Minnesota for the purpose of dancing and healing.
The heart of our idea is to actually go out and to heal the land and heal the people. 100 years ago, the jingle dress dance originated with the Ojibwe people during the pandemic in 1918. And so we kind of feel like this is a great time for us to do what we're doing, and there's parallels between our project and that.
I'd always heard the story about the jingle dress dance tradition, that there was a little girl who became very ill, near death. Her father had this vision that ultimately saved her life, and this little girl became the first jingle dress dancer.
So my name is Eugene Tapahi. I'm with Tapahi Photography. I'm the owner and photographer. The project I'm working on right now is called the Art Heals the Jingle Dress Project. It actually originated from a dream I had. I dreamt one night that I was actually in Yellowstone National Park, and I was sitting in a green field, and I was watching bison kind of grazing out on the field. And as I was sitting there, just enjoying the scenery and enjoying the moment, I realized that all of a sudden these jingle dress dancers started coming onto the grass. And then all of a sudden the song started, and they started to dance. And it was really beautiful, and I really took it to heart that this was a sign for something that was something that I needed to do. So when we do go out to the lands, we're actually going to places where our ancestors have walked before, and so it makes us feel good when we go out there, because we're trying to also, along with the healing, we're also looking at it in the sense of the reclamation of native lands, reclaiming the land, and also we're there to heal the land, and we're there to heal the people that are supporting us, and also just all people in general during this pandemic.
I'm Brenda Child, a professor of American Studies and American Indian Studies at the University of Minnesota. I'm Red Lake Ojibwe, and I've been working on the history of the Ojibwe jingle dress dance tradition for quite a number of years now. I knew that the jingle dress was an Ojibwe tradition, and then it was kind of regional for many years. It was practiced by Ojibwe people of the Great Lakes of the United States and Canada, and then very quickly it moved to our Dakota neighbors. But it was sort of a regional tradition among Ojibwe and Dakota people until the later decades of the 20th century, when it became kind of a pan-Indian phenomenon.
I went to Standing Rock. That was where I had my calling to become a jingle dress dancer. And so ever since then, it's always been tied with my purpose of healing the land and healing those who are in need.
And just being able to have this project to work on during this time, it's really healed me, and I know it's really empowered the girls to be able to be a part of this project. The locations we've selected are areas where we know that people are going to love to see those images that we've taken there with the girls in the jingle dresses, and then also knowing that those lands right now are needing healing. And so that's one of the biggest reasons we've chose the areas we've been to. And then when they get in front of the camera, their strength and their courage and the women they are, it comes through in the images, and I at times just cry because it's just so amazing to me how wonderful their lives are going to be when they become leaders and when they become our future.
Hey! Happy Indigenous Peoples Day!
Indigenous? What does Indigenous mean?
Indigenous Peoples Day recognizes the first people of this area. This is important because Native Americans are not always recognized. This day actually used to be called Columbus Day, named after a guy who didn't even come to the United States. People said that he discovered this land.
But that's silly. Columbus didn't discover this land. The Native Americans were here first. Who were the first people to live in Ashland?
The indigenous people of Rogue Valley are the Tacoma, Shasta, Modoc, Klamath, and Umpqua peoples. Actually, Ashland High School just installed a canoe to recognize these people and the land we learn on.
Wow, can I see the canoe?
Yeah, let's go!
You guys know, but this is the Otter Lift canoe, and it was donated to Ashland High School by Jennifer and Dan Walpapal's family. And before it was donated, it was actually used in ceremony from Agnes Baker Program, a really wonderful Indigenous elder. In our culture, this canoe is seen as a living, breathing thing because we recognize that everything is connected together. And so it's really important that this canoe is installed in our school because it shows that Indigenous people are the first people to take care of this land, and we have a responsibility to take care of this land too.
Oh wow, that sounds awesome. How do Native kids feel about this?
Let's ask them.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm a senior, and I really like that the canoe is a permanent land acknowledgement.
Hi, I'm Celia Vasquez. I'm a freshman, and I'm proud that the school is representing us with the canoe.
For me, Indigenous Peoples Day is important because it gives Indigenous voices a chance to feel heard. It honors the people of the past who fought for their rights, culture, and legacy, and gives a pathway for those of the present. It celebrates the life of a people who are still unrepresented in today's society. I hope for myself to find community in which I can feel welcome and heard.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Stanton, and NSU is important to have for a community because it can help mental awareness, because it helps bring a community together who can support each other and help each other with things that they are fighting through if it involves like Native struggles, and so I think it just really helps our community become a whole.
I'm TJ Downingstar, and I like the canoe being here because it builds a sense of community and brings everyone together.
I'm Britton Maxwell Worley, a senior at Ashland High School, and I'm Inupiaq, Navajo, and Mescalero Apache, and I think the canoe looks very awesome.
My name is Grayson Vasquez. I'm a senior. I am Shoshone Paiute, and I am proud of the canoe because I feel that has a lot of important significance to the area.
Okay. Ayukui. My name is Kia Wiki. I'm a 9th grader here at Ashland High School. I'm part of the Yurok and Tolowa tribes in Northern California, and I'm so proud that my community acknowledges Indigenous peoples.
Hi everyone, I'm Tamai Wiki. I'm Yurok and Tolowa, Ngati Porou, and Teopori, and I'm so proud to be a part of a school that recognizes accurate Indigenous history and upholds Indigenous students and voices. Thank you.
Hi, good morning everyone. Good morning relatives. So this canoe was given to me by Gray Eagle, a longtime family friend, and his friend Charlie Otterlifter and George Fence, a previous leader, Native American leader around here, who was passed on, carved this canoe. And it's been taken for a number of rides. I took it around for a ride on Lake Selmac a number of years back. And then also with Grandma Aggie. And to let you know who Grandma Aggie is, she was the matriarch for this valley. She was the woman on the standing at the head of the canoe right there. That's Grandma. And so she is was the oldest living tribal member of the Siletz tribe living down here in the original territory. And this canoe is a remembrance, a reminder that of a previous way of living on this earth. This canoe is a medicine. This canoe is a family member. Right on the bottom of the canoe, there's a lump right on the bottom there. That's the heart of the canoe. Somebody carved this and made it their family. These are the relatives. These canoes are the relatives of those who make the canoes. And without the heart in the canoe, it is not a canoe. So we want to have this surrounded by native plants, a pollinator garden, a wattle fence, and to help to promote the life of our elder relatives, what you call plants and animals. So we want to be able to have this there and to not be invisible anymore. We're just coming out of 400 years of silence, and this is a way to help us to be heard again. So I want to thank you for allowing us to make this presentation and to convey the importance of what this canoe represents. So thank you.